1994, dressing up potential Tall Blacks, the coach of the year, a Finn Delaney sighting, and what the Giants need to do to make the six. It's the official podcast of the NBS Nelson Giants. It's G.I.Antics. Kia ora Giants fans, welcome to G.I.Antics. Hugh Beynon here alongside Phill Jones. Hello Phill.
Hi Hugh, how are you?
And joining us is Daniel Joeli Fotu.
Hello, the middle name even, thank you.
That's what I do. How about the new digs? You like if you're watching on YouTube or social media, how about the new digs here? We're in the Giants team room, colloquially called the Jones room by Phill. You call it that, eh?
I do now.
I like it. A bit more relaxed. We're in our seats. We've got some cool things going on in the background. We've got this guy. I put a jersey on him. You know, this guy here normally just stands naked at the back of the Giants room. What do you call him?
The rig.
The rig.
Yeah, he's got a body on him, man.
I tried to move it and his arm fell off.
Ernest Kerr mould. So it's good to be up in the team room. Just getting a bit of love actually on social media recently because we have the Giants experiences here with the kids and gets seen a lot with the retired jerseys and the championship banners. And we're going to talk a lot about that championship banner today, number 94, because there's a big occasion coming this Thursday night. So it's good to be back. And we'll start with the big news, Phill. Reigning Basketball New Zealand male coach of the year, Philip Charles George Jones.
Well assisted by Hugh Beynon.
Congratulations. No, genuinely congratulations, though, mate.
Yeah.
Off the back of taking Waimea College to the secondary school national final last year and winning the under-18s final with Nelson. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Would it come as a shock?
Yeah, it did actually. Not something that I was expecting. I probably look at those types of awards to be given to people who put a huge amount of time into it and, don't get a lot out of it. I got a lot out of it last year, or we got a lot out of it with a national title. Our secondary school team, Waimea, did really well, got to the final. Unfortunately, we lost to Wellington College. And ironically, that's where I got the award, Wellington College.
Oh, was the award at Wellington College? Nice.
And Glenn Denham was there, and Glenn was my first captain in the Tall Blacks.
Oh, is he headmaster there now? Eh?
Yeah. So he was loving the fact that Wellington College took one there in the final. But really cool year last year. Lots of fun. Looking to run it back again this year. Not after an award, just after a couple of titles would be nice.
Absolutely. You're a former secondary school national champion, Dan?
2 times.
Totally.
Yep,
Did you ever win the nationals, like the regional ones as well?
We had 5 guys that were just...
So you won as Auckland and you won... North Harbour you would have been,
North
right?
Harbour, yeah. With
Which
Kenny.
one meant more to you?
I'd probably say... I mean, both teams had the same players and the same coach, so it was about the same, but...
Who was your coach back then?
Kenny Stone.
Stone. He was named that Giant last week, which has just reminded me we need to do a Name That Giant, Phill.
Was that the year that his son hit the winning shot?
Yes, it was.
In the final? That was
if you can find that, you should go and watch that.
Not the one against Palmy Boys.
Palmy Boys.
Yeah. In Palmy, on the main court.
So I spent a little bit of my formative years in the hallowed halls of Palmerston North Boys High School, and I remember seeing that, and
they were doing the haka during the game, and we were up 20 at halftime actually, and they came back, and it was great atmosphere. Cam Stone hit the game-winning shot, and that's all she wrote.
It was deep too, eh?
Yeah, it was like by halfway.
Yeah, it was like halfway. Yeah.
I remember that.
That was good stuff. Anyway, Name That Giant. Phil Jones, you're welcome to join here as well.
Don't we usually give
Dan?
this to the guests?
Nah, you got it. Coach of the year question. Here we go.
As always, I go through the career of a current or former Nelson Giant, and Phil tries to guess who it is. All right, ready? No. Nelson Giants, New Zealand Breakers, Super City Rangers, Nelson Giants, Joondalup Wolves.
Oh.
Any ideas, Dan?
Shay.
Brooke Roscoe?
No, we have him. It's not Brooke Roscoe.
Trying to think who played for the Rangers that played for the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. Yeah,
Mika Buchanan?
It's
not Mika.
Yeah, it's not Mika. We've had him. Import?
No. Tall Black.
Giant as well.
Handful of times for the Tall Black. Not Not heaps, but 10, 15 would be my guess, I think.
Breakers. 2.
Giants, Breakers, Super City Rangers, Giants, Joondalup Wolves. There's a clue there because not many people start the Giants unless they're from the region, right?
Josh Bloxham?
Joshua Bloxham.
There we go.
Bloxham.
Born in Christchurch,
Got
with the
there.
Marlborough
In
boys.
the end.
There we go.
Shifted to NC. Good job. I first came across Josh when I was a young reporter, and he was the development player at the Breakers. He's a 3-time Australian NBL champion.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, because he was a development player for that three-peat.
What a
In fact,
great
he might have
time.
been like development, full contract for his last one. But
Wow.
handy player.
That hurts too, because I was in the.
Oh, yeah, that's
final
right.
of
You're in
the
the Cairns
first one.
Taipans
You
in
keep
the
bringing
first
that up.
one.
Like, come on,
I bring
dude.
that up a lot.
Find something else to talk
Inadvertently
Wait,
as well.
You in that team?
It's G.I.Antics. It's not Breaker
That's
Antics.
the first time I met Phil. Yeah, Phil and Lindsay Tate were in the Taipans
Oh,
team.
that's tough.
Yeah. Aaron Fern,
Aaron Fern, coach.
head coach, another Kiwi. Funny accent, Fernier.
Yeah, real mixture.
Yeah, real mixture.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk basketball. We haven't been with you for a couple of weeks. So what's happened since then, Phil? We had the Hawks at home. Good
Yep.
game of basketball.
Move on from that one.
Yep.
Good game, though.
It was a good game. Giants actually played really well in the first half, I
Yeah.
thought. And then, not sure what happened in the second half. But the Hawks came out and they kind of found their rhythm. And
Yeah.
Jordan Artai started knocking down threes. And
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Jordan Nartai.
And they hit some
game.
big
Yeah.
shots towards the end of the game. Moore hit a big three. And, I think we were a little bit rough from the free throw line again, which kind of didn't help in a close game.
Yeah, was that the Rapid League game where we went 1 for 7 from the line?
Yeah.
Lost that one by a point?
By a point, yeah.
Yeah, free throw line.
Giants wasn't as
thoughts,
bad.
Dan, on the old free throw line, the Chemist Warehouse stripe?
Yeah. That game we weren't very good at the free throw line, but we have improved since then. So hopefully it gets better as we go.
More positive things.
Yeah.
Onto the Tauranga we went with some great work from you at the airport with the microphone in hand.
Yeah.
How has that become your job?
I don't know. I just get there so early, and they just hand me the mic, so I get that job. But happy to do it, and the boys love it.
So do you get there early because you don't want to be late, or you get there early because you want the mic?
You want the mic.
Yeah,
I get there early to be there on time. You know?
It's a beautiful place to be, Nelson Airport. It's
It
one
is.
of those great
It is.
airports in Aotearoa. And up to Tauranga you went and exacted a bit of revenge.
Yeah, we
Against the
needed
Phi.
that. We definitely needed that win. And my parents came down. Isaac got back from Japan, and he was there, so
He
It
was
was good
loving
to
it. I was updating his Insta story as you went. Was
Yeah.
Isaac from the front row?
yeah, he got some front row seats. I don't know how he got those because we usually get put in the back. But
What's the arena like up there? I've heard some good things about Mercury Bay Park.
nah, their whole setup is really nice. The court's really nice too, and the rims are really nice. And they could pack that out if they wanted to. So yeah, that's a good area to.
So they've
have
got
ball.
stronger since we lost to them at home. They brought in Ira Lee,
Yeah.
who we all remember from the Hawks a couple of years ago. Last year?
Last year.
Yeah. Bouncy.
Very,
even though
yeah.
he's had knee injuries, right? But bouncy.
He looks like he's trimmed down a bit too.
Yeah,
Whether
no.
he's just because
Haircut
last year I
as
think
well?
he had a quite a reasonable
He's gone for
afro
the
going
short
on.
hair, which I think helps.
Yeah.
But you guys did a pretty professional job on them. I thought it was a bit of like a microcosm of our whole season so far.
Yeah.
The highs were real high in that game. We went on that run and we looked unstoppable. I was
Yeah.
thinking we're going to beat them by 30 here. And then it offense stopped and they just
Yeah.
started working their way back into the game. But we did enough to get the win, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, we definitely had our runs, which was good. We had bigger runs than they did, and Ira is looking really good. I know him from college. He played for Arizona, so he was looking really good out there. But yeah, we were able to get the win, which is really good. We needed that, and Fitch was saying that we needed that win, so it's playoff start now for us really. So we go into every game like that with that mentality. So yeah.
Yeah, playoffs really do start now. We've got Canterbury coming up. We're going to talk about Canterbury a little bit later. They're on an absolute tear at the moment with some pretty familiar faces. And then we go away to Hawke's Bay, who obviously we lost to, and so we need to tie that
one.
series up. We're pretty close with them, and their Rapid League team's been pretty good as well, so that could be a factor as well, their Rapid League game in terms of points difference.
Yeah.
Games against the Jets still a few games against guys below us, right? The Jacks and the Sharks, the old West Side Stories. Still got to play them. It's a musical theatre joke. People will get that. Even if you didn't, people will get that. And then the Airs to finish, right?
Yeah.
On the road.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one. Yeah, well, we still got... We really need to win those bottom of the table clashes between like the Sharks and all that. But they'll definitely be hard.
The Sharks nearly beat the Hawks.
Yeah.
I'm screaming at my TV.
Me too.
I've never supported Southland more in anything in my life than watching them play the Hawks that game.
Yeah, that was a good ending, man. Far out. Yeah, we needed that. I mean, they did their thing. But yeah, it would have been good for the Sharks to take one there.
They're an interesting team, that Hawks team. Keanu Rasmussen.
Yeah.
Why have I not heard of him? Is that on me? Because he's Kiwi, right? Because I sat there at the game. I think I said to you, Phil, I was like, there were 4 imports on game time. Because and that's on me. I should be doing my research more, hands up. But I have just not heard of him. Has he grown up in Australia or something like that?
He's an Adelaide kid, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he was involved possibly with as a development player.
Yeah.
Over there. Yeah. But I would say there's quite a few Australian NZ kids or players in Australia that we wouldn't know of.
Oh yeah,
playing at different levels.
We put a whole Tall Blacks team together of them, during the lockdown.
But he's quality. Like he's come in and had a really good start to the year. A shame about him getting injured and concussion he had, but he's talented.
Yeah,
plays hard, shoots it well.
Yeah,
goes after it. He's not. The one thing I like about the Aussie guys is they're just not. They don't take a backward step to anything.
Yeah,
they meet every situation head on and just get after it, and it's great. Dan Greta epitomises that. He just plays hard all the time, and I like the idea of having Aussies as imports. Nothing against the Americans, but I just like the way they play.
That's fair. Yeah.
And they seem to understand our league. Sometimes we get imports come here and they struggle with the physicality and the style of officiating and that type of thing, where I think the Aussie guys seem to get it pretty early.
Speaking of the American imports, which I guess you weren't actually at all, but I'm going to speak about them now. Had them around for dinner Sunday night. Have you heard anything about this, Dan? Have there been any...
Didn't get an invite, so no, I didn't really.
I hear they've got food poisoning.
Well, that's generally what I was going to ask you. Any comments on my cooking? Because I kind of took a bit of a risk. I was thinking it'd be nice to get them round. Theo Akuba, Kobe Langley. 1, my kids will love it. And 2, this time of year might get a bit homesick. True. And Theo hasn't been home for about 9-10 months, I don't think, because he went to Finland and stuff. So I'll bring him around and I'll cook him some good old Southern US style. And really, the audacity, thinking about it now, the audacity of me just to assume that I can do that. So I looked up Alabama recipes, which is where Theo's from. Found some pork ribs, Alabama barbecue sauce, special sauce, made it from scratch. And wait till you hear the actual results. And then I messaged Kobe's twin brother on Insta and said, what's some food that Kobe likes from North Carolina? He goes, well, my mom, makes these cube steaks and rice. He'd love that. It's her favorite. It's his favorite thing from her. So then I decided to make that. Just try and make... I've never heard of cube steak. Have you?
Never heard of it.
Dan?
I really want to know how it turned out. Come on, let us know.
I thought it turned out terribly. They were both very polite. Put it that way. When they came around, we watched the Jets Bulls game, another good game actually, where we were just screaming for Manawatu to get the win over Franklin, but Luther Mohammed's cold. And they left, and they were really nice players. It was a great evening, catch up, great, two great guys, as you know, Dan. And then my wife Mandy, I was like, how was the food? She's like, I was like, yeah. Maybe don't tell your mum about that, Kobe.
It's the thought that counts,
Well, I said that a lot. That night, I was like, surely they'll understand the gesture.
Yeah.
Did Mandy actually say what was wrong with it?
It was quite tough.
Oh,
it was like eating a tongue of a shoe.
Oh,
yeah.
The steak or the
steak.
Oh.
The ribs are okay. I slow cooked the ribs. They were okay. They were quite nice.
Yeah,
but
nice.
Shout out to the Mad Butcher for hooking me up though with the cube steak because I'd never heard of it. I had to call him. And luckily, I know the Mad Butcher in Nelson. Dan Perrin is former Marco, hooked me up with the cube steak. So yeah, thanks Dan.
Kobe's mum probably uses Phill or something.
Cuts it
into cubes.
Yeah. So if you can get some intel on that, actually, Dan, that'd be good. Work on my form. Right. What were we talking about? Sorry, I've really derailed everything there. The Phi game. There seems to be, Dan, a real. Well, first of all, you were unstoppable in that game. In patches, like in that big run, they literally just could not stop you. Phil's talked about it a lot this season. You play the game at your own pace, which is really fun to watch as well. You just almost seem to be just fully in control. And I wonder, is there times where we just don't get the ball as much? And I know I don't want you to come across as arrogant or whatever, but is that fair?
Me, like, I don't get the ball as much, or
do you understand what I'm saying, Phill?
Yeah,
like,
I think there's times where you could be more selfish.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Demand the ball, like, because they just could not stop you.
No, yeah, I've been told that a few times. Like Fitch has been telling me you can shoot the ball a bit more, or like go to your moves a bit more. But yeah, I've taken that on, and I think I tried to take it on in the Phi game. I still think that sometimes I do a bit too much, but Fitch keeps telling me that no, you're not doing it. Like, you could be doing a bit more. So in the back of my mind, I really play. I'm trying to get other people touches as well. Really, that's in the forefront of my mind before I'm thinking, let me get mine. But if it's going to help the team, then I'm definitely willing to shift my mindset to let me get the ball in and let me do what I got to do to help the team win. So I'm taking that on as I go, and that Phi game, I think, was a stepping stone into that. Hopefully. Yeah, because
I think that is potentially something the Giants are missing, is that one guy that they can give the ball to and say, right, look, go to work.
True.
And not only from a scoring perspective, but if you're putting pressure on the other teams defensively and going at their main guys and getting them into foul trouble, that helps.
True.
As the game progresses along, and I don't think anyone would see it in the group as you being selfish.
Yeah,
I think just being more aggressive was going to help the team no end. You know, it'll be something that the Giants really need, I reckon.
You were 23, 8 for 11 from the field. I thought Theo just seems to get more and more comfortable out there. Right? He does one of, if not his best games so far. Just trying to see what he ended up with: 9 points, 10 rebounds, a couple of blocks in there as well, one big one. He looks more and more like a threat, Phill.
Yeah, he does. He's finding his feet, and obviously, if you we haven't talked about this yet, but if you end up moving into that Tall Blacks team, he's going to have to step up a much bigger role, carry more load. But yeah, he's been good, I reckon. He's actually starting to really dominate at the defensive end and changing a lot of shots. Yeah. Not actually potentially picking up blocks, but he's there, and now guys are starting to think about him, and it's he's doing not a bad job of protecting the paint. Yeah,
and Kobe as well. Just looking more and more comfortable out there in the different matchups he gets. He had 15 points.
Yeah.
Again, 4 steals again, and he seems to be picking and choosing the times to go and to gamble now more and more. Actually, I know something Fitch talks to him a lot about.
Yeah, he does.
And like this is the New Zealand NBL top six go to the playoffs. You just got to hit form at the right time, right? And feel like things are coming together. However, Phil's just touched on it. Things could just be about to change a fair bit, right? We'll get to you, but first of all, we play Canterbury on Thursday, and then on the weekend we play Hawke's Bay. Hayden Jones and James Matthews go at the weekend, so they're unavailable for Hawke's Bay. They're going to the Under-17 World Cup. We've known that was coming, right? Hayden's been given more and more responsibility, more and more minutes. He's essentially become almost a sixth man or seventh man, sixth and a half man with Sammy D. In recent weeks. How big a loss is he going to be at this time of the season? 3 weeks, is it, Phill, they're gone for?
Yeah, not back till the 9th of July, and then I think if everything goes to plan, he would be available for the Taranaki game, but it would be after NZ Under-18s. So he'd come back from Worlds, go to the national under-18 tournament.
With us?
Yeah. And then that's more important, by the way.
Yeah.
And then he'd go to the Taranaki game.
Which would be the last game of the regular season.
Yeah, depending on, I suppose, how the Giants go over the next few games.
Yeah. If the season's still...
Because he'll be pretty wrecked, I imagine, coming back from that.
Turkey. Yeah. So how much of a loss is that going to be this point in the season, losing Hayden?
No, yeah.
And James for the Rapid League team as well.
Congratulations to those guys making that team. It's going to be a huge loss. For the Rapids as well. Jimmy's been playing really well in that Rapid League. He's been doing his thing, as well as Hayden. But yeah, for the main game, we're going to lose a lot in Hayden. Actually, that Bulls game when Nordy went down and Hayden came in, he really
played that last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
had a couple of big rebounds
like me and Sammy D were talking about it. We were going up for that rebound, and we just see Hayden come in and swoop it and grab it, and we were like, "Wow, this guy can." He gets it going when we really need it. So, yeah, it's going to be a huge loss. But on the backside of that, as you were saying before we started this, people can step up into that role, and it's going to be interesting to see who on the team is willing to take that step up and put them shots in and play good defense. So yeah,
and it might take a few more people to step up because obviously Hiram Harris has got that knee injury. Haven't seen him for the Saints for a while. He was named in the Tall Blacks. You were named as a
reserve.
Doesn't look like Hiram's going to make it. Doesn't take a scientist to work out that you'd probably be next cab off the rank. Sam Meninga in there as well, but you'd have a really good shot next cab off the rank. If that happens, that's 3 weeks again, and I mean that's a hell of a trip.
Yeah,
that's taking the floor. One with the Tall Blacks, Olympic qualifiers. Where is it? Is it in Greece?
Yeah, there's a European hub that we meet at, but essentially in Greece.
A little few classic warm-up games.
Yeah.
Classic Tall Blacks. Phill, you remember those days? Yeah. Stay away from the squares in Latvia.
Oh yeah.
Bad things happen there. And then you go to Greece and take the floor with Luka Doncic, with Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that'll be a great trip to be on. But it means the Giants could lose you for 3 weeks. And then Phill, up step, Samuel Kevin Dempster. I know all the middle names. Samuel Kevin Dempster.
So it's Kevin, eh?
Yeah, well, I guess the scenarios are that, when you have pieces that move away for particular things, national representation, those guys that come in, they don't really have a lot of option because they're just going to play. And sometimes that makes them feel at ease, and they come in and they just play a role.
Because it's not like one of those moments where coach puts you on, takes Dan off, puts you on and goes, show me what you've got, knowing full well you get hooked in any minute. It's like, I need you to go and play for, give me 15, 20 minutes today.
Yeah, and I recall many games where we've had guys that haven't been available and we've been undermanned and we've played against top teams in the league, and then all of a sudden we come out as winners. Fitch played in one of the probably more memorable games where we played Saints, and we had 4 or 5 Tall Blacks away. And it was like, Fitch was like a school kid still.
Fitch and Mecca were at school still. They were still at Nelson College.
Yeah. And they play with a couple of imports, and they played against the Saints, who were stacked, and they beat them.
Yeah.
Wow. Those guys that come in, they've just got to do their job, play their role, play hard, and take their opportunity. Because now it's a good chance for them to show what they can do, given the opportunity.
So those guys are Aston Inwood, which is, you and I have been talking heaps. Love to see him on the court more because every time he seems to hit the court, he makes a difference.
Yeah.
Caleb Chamberlain, who we've seen play rapidly, he might get a few more minutes.
Get him in the open court. Super athlete.
Yeah. And Nicky D, who's been playing great on the offensive end the last few weeks as well. I'm not saying all's lost if you go to the Tall Blacks. It should be a really exciting time for the Giants to see those younger players.
Yeah, and real opportunity, obviously, for Sam
and Sammy D
and Tom, being able to step up and as being leaders of the group and take that opportunity to actually play a much bigger role.
Let's talk about the Rams. Those pesky Canterbury Rams coming to town with a 10-win winning streak behind them.
Crazy, yeah.
If I had to pick an MVP of the NBL right now, I think I'd give it to Taylor Britt.
Yeah. He's
Is that fair?
Very good.
That is fair. Yeah.
All the talk, Sam Froling and Big Bad Bobby Lowe and all those guys, don't get me wrong, they're having great seasons, but Taylor Britt is killing it.
Yeah, he's doing everything right now, really. He's sharing that ball, scoring it. It's impressive to see, actually.
And we talked about it before, right? He's just like Mr. Canterbury.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure
he
is. He's having a hell of a year. If he doesn't get MVP, does he get most improved? Because, he is really
That's a good call.
increased, like, his output across the whole game. Defensively, offensively, team basketball. He's just doing everything.
Tatuhi Lewis might have a shout at most improved as well.
True.
Yeah,
We'll get to
playing
award
well.
season. I love award season. We'll get to award season. It's in a few weeks' time. Don't worry.
That's a good shout, yeah.
Yeah, the Rams, 10-game winning streak, former Giant at the helm, and Judd Flavel, former teammate of yours. Did you go through the Judd Flavel Academy at the Breakers?
Yes, I did. Hated every second of that academy, man. But it made me better. But I'm grateful for him, yeah. A lot of running, for sure.
Yeah. And when they come to town, it's going to be a special day, and I'm going to show you why. Look at this, Dan.
Oh, sheesh.
By the time this comes out, you would have been presented with your one, because tomorrow morning, when we record, in this team room, these jerseys will be presented by a couple of members of the 1994 championship winning team.
Oh, my.
Because we're celebrating 1994, 30 years since the Giants' first ever championship on Thursday night at the Trafalgar Centre. These are throwback jerseys to the ones the team wore, including a fresh-faced 20-year-old Phill Jones back in 1994. This one is the G.I.Antics one for the studio. But we are going to give away one of these jerseys next week after the game, okay? So keep an eye out on our social medias for that. It'll be something like you have to share the post, tag a couple of friends, all those 2024 things, and get to the game. Because it's going to be a special night. So 90s music only. Have a look at it if you want.
Yeah, let me
90s music only at the Trafalgar Centre. We're encouraging everyone in the crowd to dress up. We want you dressed up in your best 90s gear. Phill and I are going to be dressed up in our best 90s gear, aren't we, Phill? I got that.
Sounds like it.
I got this beautiful Garth Brooks kind of cut off like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Cut off thing.
I don't know if I was wearing stuff like that in the 90s.
Yeah, what were you wearing
never
in the
cool.
90s?
Phil's got this week, which is going to try for us now, a little Kurt Cobain number. Chuck it on, Phill.
That is
Yeah, I'm on better beat.
disgusting.
I just can't wait.
But
Can't wait for the camera to cut to us.
it doesn't fit.
Oh, you got to wear that. He has to
You
wear
have
it,
to
just
wear
like Kurt
that.
Cobain. Oh, no, you know who you look like? Jeff Daniels and Dumb and Dumber. You look like Jeff Daniels and Dumb and Dumber.
That is good.
That
is
is so good. I can't wait for the camera to cut to us.
Is it even on straight?
That looks great.
Put that as a thumbnail and you'll get clicks for days, man.
Yeah, so come dressed up. There's going to be prizes for best dressed. There's going to be it's 90s music only. The boys are wearing those jerseys we showed you, the black and yellow. And on your way into the Trafalgar Centre, there's going to be a little memorabilia stand. We've got the net that the team cut down after winning the championship in 1994. We got some great photos. Some weird, like, the Giants, when old women win flower shows and they get like those pins with the tassels. So it looks like a big flower and they stick it on.
Yeah, it's like it.
For some reason in 1994, there's a whole bunch of those that say like Giants supporter and like fans had them. So we've got a few of those on display.
There was a big crew that went up to Taranaki that year for the finals. It was jam-packed.
And we beat Canterbury, so that's the whole point we're doing at this. In 1994, we beat Canterbury to win the
Beat
championship.
Auckland in the semi.
Yeah.
Which
wow.
I think Puro was.
Ooh. Was it Stars or the Rebels? Stars.
It was
Rebels.
I think it might have been it was the Stars. Yeah. Maybe Puro wasn't playing that.
How many minutes were you playing this part of your career? So
1994. So it was 94. So 93 was my.
Oh, it was
first
definitely
year.
the Stars. The Rebels went to the 2000s. Yeah.
93. End of 93. I started playing quite a bit.
Is that at Nelson College or?
I was finished.
Just
Nelson
finished,
College, so first year on the Giants, and then 94 we got Daryl Johnson and Kenny Perkins imports. Nenad, Carlo was there. Tim Johnson, Adrian Highford. Who else? Andy Bennett, Nick Costley. I'm trying to think of all the others. There was
So Carlo, Andy, Tim Johnson, who's now a cop down in Invercargill. Brendan Bailey, they're coming to the game. Andy Bennett, they come into the game. They're going to have a table at the game, so we'll get them on the court before the game for a photo. Kenny Perkins, late pull out, unfortunate. Was looking forward to him coming up, but he can't make it up. Tim Johnson's son, Ben, is going to bring the ball out, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
So it's going to be it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a fun year. Like, I played a decent amount throughout the year, but in the final I didn't play a little bit. Enough to run up and down the court a few times, take a few shots.
It's funny how sometimes the locals, so like Carlo Verricchio, right, who a lot of us know now. He coached Nathan for a long time. His son Rico came up and was in our under-18s team that won nationals last year. He's now at Nelson College. And Carlo still coaches ABC, coaches Ernie's team on a Tuesday night. He's a real character, great guy, like works for Pepsi, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the company that owns Pepsi is and stuff. So now we just know him as Carlo. And we know he played, some people, right? But I was looking at his stats from 1994. Damn. His
good.
three-point percentage was like unreal.
Yeah.
It's like in the late 50s, over like nearly 100 attempts, and he's shooting.
No way.
Yeah, like crazy. They said it in the comment. I was looking at some old clips the other day. In the last game of the regular season, they're like, Riccio, what a season he's having. It's like not to call you all. It was
30 years ago.
Newsflash, Nelson.
Just in. It's great.
But so it's going to be awesome that coming to the game. And Carlo's even said he reckons he's going to be a little emotional seeing the jerseys go out. On the court. But
it was a pretty cool time. Obviously, first championship for the Giants, and a lot of really cool memories. Just I remember the game because we played Canterbury and we were down. We were down like 20 at half time.
Who was at Canterbury then? Was that? I feel like Jeff Maguire. Remember, it was a Maguire that played. Is it Maguire? Played in the NBA. He was a shooting guard for. I'm sure it was the Phoenix Suns. Mm-hmm. It was his brother, and I'm sure Kenny Stone. That's right, because he started here. Rams. He was like 89 to 92 here, and then went down there, right?
I think it was with the Rams, yeah. And they had all the.
Suck it, Kenny.
Yeah.
Leave Nelson, go down there and lose. Oh, Chris Tupin.
Yeah, Chris Tupin. So we were down 20 at half.
Oh, wow.
And then we came back and big possession of the game, and Toops probably won't like me saying this, but he got a breakaway, fast break, and he went to lay it up, and he lost control of the ball and lost it out of bounds. And we got the ball back and came down and scored, and we ended up winning. Like, it was a pretty crazy event and crazy night.
I was going to say, tell us about the night.
I don't remember. It was crazy. Yeah.
There's a great photo. There's a great photo which you'll see when you walk into the Trafalgar Centre on Thursday night of you guys getting off the plane here in Old Whakatū, and it's got the old school Air New Zealand sign as well, and Nenad's holding the trophy. Oh, the Rams are doing us a solid. They're bringing the trophy up as well because it's still the same trophy.
Yeah.
So they're bringing the trophy up for the display as well. And then there's old mate Jones out the back of just one thing up, number one.
That's all the energy.
And you guys had to wear the Coke. You guys
the Coca-Cola jerseys,
Coca-Cola jumpers. We got one of those. That'll be on the display.
Maya has it. My one.
Maya has your one.
That's vintage.
Quick side note about Maya Jones. Can we talk about her driving test in America, or are we going to get crucified if we do
yes, we can.
Have you heard this yet?
No, I haven't heard it.
Maya Jones, Nelson legend, playing St. Mary's. Your
alma mater.
Your old alma mater. What do they call it?
Alma mater.
Alma mater.
Alumni.
He's an alumni of St. Mary's. Yeah. And Maya there obviously finished at Wyoming College, scholarship over there, doing great things in the freshman team of the year. But we're not here to pump your tyres. Quite the opposite, Maya. We're here to talk about your driver's test. Take it away, Dad.
Driver's test. So Maya's been given an opportunity to borrow a vehicle from her boyfriend's dad.
Hello.
And
they do it right.
But one of the agreements was that she got a full license, California license. Mm-hmm. So she made an appointment at the DMV to sit the test. She turns up, jumps in the vehicle, and they pull out of the DMV. She turns, and then the instructor goes, you need to pull over. And she was like, oh shit, I'm on the wrong side of the road. So she turned out of the DMV, and she's been driving there for the whole year.
Because you can drive on a New Zealand license, right?
Yeah. So she's been driving, and then she turned the wrong way, down the wrong.
Oh, the worst time to do that.
And he was like, I think you just need to pull over and turn around and go back to the DMV. And she went back, failed. Literally drove like 20 metres out of the car.
So had to tell the boyfriend's dad, you know what, don't worry about that car, I don't need it.
Yeah. So now the plan is to come home and sit her full licence here in New Zealand, and then she can just fill out like a
conversion form or whatever.
And get her licence over there.
That's no fun. It's way more fun if she keeps trying to do the test.
Hard case story though. She was she was good.
That is funny as. That's good.
Good on you, Maya. Riley, middle name? Nailed it. Anyway, moving on to... Right, we'll go back to the Rams game, where obviously it was going to be a cool event. Be nice to get a win though, wouldn't it?
Oh.
You know, how do anyone stop this Rams side at the moment? Lachlan Olbrich doing great things, the big Aussie young fella.
Yep.
Obviously we talked about Taylor. I mean, right down to their practices must be insane. Their rapidly team is... crazy. A couple of Nelsonians and Jonty and Will, like rarely get Jonty Bond. Will's been injured, but rarely getting a look in.
Shout out to those boys, made an NZ team.
Yeah, shout out
Both
Jonty and Will.
Nice.
They got the Isaac brothers and Kaya and Tama. They're just stacked with and deep with talent.
Yeah, no, they're looking good. I mean, the first time we played them, we didn't really have we didn't even have any imports. I don't think
we had no imports.
We had Greeter.
We had Greeter.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
none of the American imports. So yeah, it'll be a good little test to see how we've come so far, and I feel like our boys do well as the underdogs. And
Sammy D wasn't playing that first game either.
That's right. Yeah.
Christchurch. Yeah, he had his plantar fascia injury. Yeah.
True. Yeah. And there'll be a bit of pressure on them with their 10-game win streak. So I feel like it's a recipe for an upset. I think for them. If we just do our thing and play the way we've been playing recently, I feel like we can get this one.
You've been impressed with how they've been playing the Rams, Phill? How direct and the pace they've been playing.
Yeah. Like one of the big things that I like with their style is everything is in the paint.
Yeah.
You know, they're just putting pressure on the rim, and a lot of that is Taylor Britt. You know, he's leading that charge, but. You know, they get into the paint, they share the basketball. They got a group of guys that shoot it pretty good. They play with quite a bit of freedom, you know. And I feel like at times that the Giants were a little bit sort of conscious of getting through stuff rather than actually just playing basketball. And that's just, I think, probably an experience thing too. You know, is understanding what you need to do. But I like the way the Rams play. But they're also, like, when you look at their roster, they're stacked.
Mm-hmm.
From top to bottom, got good imports, really good Kiwi talent. You know, Taki Farrington, who was quite a strong player last year in the NBL, played for Tuatara. He hasn't had the best season so far, but you know, he's another guy that when he decides he wants to play,
nice role player to have.
He can come in off the bench and do some damage. You know, Max Darling as well.
Nelson College.
And then they've got the young guys like the Isaac brothers, you know, Tama and Kaya. You know, Tama's good.
Oh, he's nice.
He's very good.
Yeah.
And he's super physical, and he's not scared.
Mm.
Got that little bit of Australian background, you know, grew up playing over there. You know, so for the Giants, you know, Giants definitely underdogs on Thursday night. Yeah. But, you know, big occasion. And the big occasions can go one of two ways, right? You know, you can either lay an egg or you can come out and you can rise to it. And I think the Giants will be up for it on Thursday.
We've done pretty well against Canterbury in recent years, like in the Fitchett era in the last 5 years. You know, he makes no bones about it. He hates him. You know, that's the. I mean, not personally. Like, I know from what I hear, I think him and Judd are going to catch up for lunch on Thursday. You know, they worked together for a long time, played together for a long time, but. He's a Nelsonian. He likes beating Canterbury. You grow up in Nelson, you spend a lot of your life losing to Canterbury at sport. Phill.
Yeah. Well,
we're life driving 5.5 hours to lose to Canterbury and then drive home. Whatever sport you play.
Well, it's all the representative stuff. It's always trying to qualify against Canterbury to get to the next stage, you know. So, And a lot of these guys, younger guys, have played against each other in different school things or representative stuff. So, yeah, and Canterbury they're dominating things at the moment. They just won under 20 Nats for both boys and girls.
Men and women at that age.
Currently, they're just ripping through the NBL 10-game winning streak. Like they've got a really good program down there, and they're doing great things.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be fun.
It is.
It's going to be an awesome event. What else did I talk about at the beginning? Finn Delaney sighting. We've seen a bit of Finn Delaney around town now. He's definitely locked into the Tall Blacks, named and ready to go next week. But social media would suggest he's been running around with you fellas on the court. What's adding a bit of power during training?
Yep, it's good to go against someone with his level of talent and the way he plays. He came practice this week, and it was good to see him. Great guy, so it was good to catch up with him. Yeah, it gave a bit of insight on how it is playing at a top level and the way he's been playing. And it's good to see him prepare for the Tall Blacks window. So, yeah, it's good to catch up with him. So he's
announced as well, the Breakers have announced in one of the strangest written posts I've ever read, like language-wise, that Finn will not be going back to the Breakers. Mm-hmm. What are you locked in with the Breakers next year? Or you
Nah,
you sort of deciding what's happening for you next year? I mean, next Aussie NBL year.
Yeah. I've already got something cooking up. I don't know if I can release it here, but
don't get in trouble.
Yeah, I'll keep it. I'm sure it'll come out the next week or so. But yeah, I'm not going back to the Breakers next year. That's season.
A full reset up at Atlas Place, isn't it? Alex McNaught holding the fort down,
longest
tenured breaker out there. Good stuff, guys. The last thing we want to talk about was what the Giants need to do to make the six. I can tell you, we're six right now. Might not feel like it after a couple of losses, up and down, win loss. But right now, Phil, we're six. We're 6 and 8. So are the Nuggets. So are the Hawks. But we're 6 and 8, and the Bulls 9 and 4 are in 5th. So it really is, and Bulls and Airs above us, both 9 and 4, both with a game in hand. So from 6 down, everyone's played 14. So it really looks like, barring the Bulls completely imploding, there's 4 teams playing for one spot. Giants, the Nuggets, the Hawks, and the Phi. It's going to be a tight end to the season.
It is, yeah.
We play the Nuggets, we play the Hawks, and then we play the Sharks and the Jets below us. And the Rams and the Airs above us. So, damn, it's going to be tough. It's going to be great.
And one of those things in previous Giants seasons, there's been quite often we've come down to the last game of the season and we've had to play against the Saints. And the Saints have been, one of the top teams for years and years and years, and it was always a big ask to try and get over them to get into the playoffs, and often we fell a little bit short. This year, last game of the season is against Taranaki up there.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be leaving it to the last game of the season if possible. So I think obviously the Rams game is going to be a super tough one. Taranaki to finish off. You've got 6 games left. Yeah. Those other 4 are basically
massive
must-wins.
Must win.
Nuggets, Phi, Sharks and Jets.
Yeah.
Those 4.
Must
not Phi.
No, not Phi.
Nuggets, Sharks and Jets. What's the other one I'm thinking
Rams,
of? Rams. Taranaki.
Yeah.
That's 5.
No.
That's 6. There we go.
Nuggets, Sharks, Jets, Rams, Taranaki. Who am I missing?
Southland. Oh, no, you said Southland. Hawks.
Saturday night.
Be there.
Yeah. Be there in Hawke's Bay.
in Hawke's Bay.
So back to your point that you made, felt like 10 minutes ago, and I kind of ruined it by not understanding, was that beating the Nuggets, Hawks, Sharks and Jets are must-win games.
Yeah.
The 4 teams below us.
Yeah, especially when you're going head-to-head against one of them.
So a win against the Rams will be a huge bonus.
Would be, yeah. It takes a little bit of pressure off.
Yeah.
But, beating anyone above you is always a bonus, but beating the teams that are equal with you or below you, you have to if you want to be able to get into that final 6.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a great way to start against Canterbury. If we beat Canterbury, I wouldn't sleep. I'm up all night. I'm painting Nelson, not even red because it's Canterbury colours. I'm painting Nelson blue.
Black and yellow.
Black and yellow, yeah. Black and yellow Thursday night. Check it out. Yep. That's us Thursday night, Trafalgar Centre, 6:30 tip-off for the Rapid League, 7:30 for the NBL. If you can't make it there, Phill and I bring it to you on Sky Sport. Phil's going to have a wig on. Make sure you check it out. It's going to be great. It's going to look like Kurt Cobain. Dan, thanks for your time, mate.
Thank you very much for having me.
Much appreciated. Good fun. We'll be back next week from the New Look studio here. Thanks to producer Todd for looking after us. Thanks, Phill.
Thanks, you.
So we'll be back next week with Dan. Might not be here. He might be over with the Tallbacks. Good luck if you are called up, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That'll be a hell of an experience, and we'll be 3 men shorter next week. But we'll be back. Hopefully we still haven't had Theo on, have we?
Not yet, no.
Or Naughty. Those are our two big tickets that we need to knock off, Theo and Naughty. So one of those two next week. Otherwise, we'll see you at the Trafalgar Centre on Thursday night.